Somewhere in the cold night of Boise, Idaho, two women prepare to leave town together. They're tired of drawing public attention to the way they hold each other's hands. Couples in Boise do hold hands, they just don't look like these two. So they hit the road for California, where people still segregate themselves from each other, and every city's east side is feared by suburbans, because the local news anchor hates the east side, and reminds us all of how dangerous it is with all of its minorities and crime. He prefers downtown, where he can afford to be a teenager again, or at least on top of one. Somewhere on the east side of Vancouver, British Columbia, a 14-year-old woman hops on a bus to get to Hastings Street, where her body's worth so much more. She wonders if any girl has ever taken their pip to the school prom, and watches out for all the hookers who are younger than her. Dead mothers can't question a child who sleeps through the afternoon. When she has enough money, she'll catch a bus to New York and dance for the rest of her life. But currently, it is midnight, and she has rent to make. At midnight in Hollywood, there are waiters and waitresses practicing their Academy Award acceptance speech while serving you chicken wings and hash browns. At midnight in Denver, there are poets who heat up their dinners on radiators and wash their clothes by hand because quarters are to be saved for buses and homeless people. At midnight in San Antonio, a man holds a party because the body warmth will heat up his house just long enough to get a few hours of sleep before teaching his elementary school class in the morning. At midnight in Portland, a college student sleeps in someone else's bed every night just so she can continue her education. At midnight in Seattle, a man hears a poem that will keep him alive for one more day. At midnight in Dallas, a DJ sells half his record collection to feed a child he already owes the government for supporting. At midnight in San Diego, an illegal immigrant puts American cash in an envelope to be mailed back to his family in Mexico while eating his first Big Mac on his late-night lunch break. At midnight in Oklahoma City, a teenage girl gets drunk for the first time and realizes it is the best thing to do when there's nothing else to do. At midnight in Chicago, a man sits in jail for the first time in his life for a crime he did not commit. He knows nobody will believe him because he knows all too well the color of his own skin. He marvels at how far we've come. At midnight, in the worst parts of Detroit, a woman prays to her God for the first time in years because of something she heard on the news. She really wants tomorrow to be a better day. At midnight, in San Jose, California, a fat man puts more food into his mouth to try to feel better about the world or forget it altogether. At midnight, in the rest of the world, people are exactly who they should be, and is quite possibly someone they'll never share with anyone else. They're the ones who leave hot food at the feet of sleeping homeless people, then worry about their next meal when no one else is looking. They're the ones who may never function at noon. The ones everyone believes left the planet a little too soon. They're the ones without tongues who have so much to say. They're doing what it takes to stay sane and alive. They are not wearing the finest clothes. They are online and searching. They are making free calls on phones they cannot afford. They are reaching out to themselves in an attempt to find perfection, whether it is within themselves or in someone else. Somewhere, out there, it must exist. It must be possible to achieve what we all want. Because if it isn't, then midnight comes to us for no reason. We start over every day for no reason. There must be something perfect in this world. And I believe that it comes to us all at midnight.